A top priority for international allies of Venezuela's democratic forces should be disrupting and deterring the global web of illicit activities and the nefarious external and non-state partners that help to sustain Maduro and his backers. This is a critical step that requires coordinated international action to further open the pathway for the restoration of democracy in Venezuela.
At the heart of the threat, it's the lives that we're losing unnecessarily, and it's the undermining of democracy. And that was a choice Maduro made, to take the once thriving state into the current dictatorship that it is. COVID has allowed him to lock down even further on the power. And we see FARC dissidents, ELN, actually having territorial expansion within the state. So all those threat vectors are headed in a negative direction, which is a significant reason why we have upped the amount of engagement we're doing with our partners.
As you know, the illegitimate Maduro regime survives by relying on this classic autocratic tools. Nowhere is this clearer than in its collaboration and reliance on non-state armed groups to conduct these activities. We know that these groups are not monolithic. We know that they have diverse agendas, allegiances, and interests. The qualities that Maduro uses to keep them in line. Now, my Bureau's advanced data analytics and the programs that we are supporting have shown that these non-state armed groups have an active presence in the capital and throughout every state. We know that 2/3 of these groups receive at least some kind of political and logistical support from the Maduro regime. So these diverse activities, tactics, and motivations therefore demand a nuanced and sophisticated approach.
The support of international actors is further anchoring the regime's position. And as Admiral Faller mentioned, Russia, China, Turkey, and Cuba have provided lifelines of support for Maduro. Most recently, we have seen increasingly close Iran-Venezuela ties, which is concerning for the international community.
When we see this increase in a relationship between Iran and Venezuela, it does signal something interesting for the United States, which is that far from being able to rely on its more traditional allies like Russia, Cuba, China, we're starting to see them undertake the same sort of relationship they used to have with those countries now with Iran. And so that makes us think that the diplomatic and financial space between Venezuela and some of their more traditional, more capable allies is decreasing.
For a long time, we treated Venezuela as if they were playing the same game on the same field as we were, not realizing that they had an entirely different game going on and that the traditional rules and ways of getting at them were not viable.